All right, welcome to that synth show, man. I was scrolling around, checking it out. I found an article on Music Radar saying what are the best synthesizers in each category of 2024. I think that's super exciting because we're always looking. I'm going to let you know what they thought, and then I'm going to tell you the Samurai's picks for the best synthesizers of 2024. So let's go, baby, with that synth show. Woo! All right, man, we had an awesome night last night. If you missed the live stream, we did a listening party for the Synth Kumite. If you don't know what it is, go check it out. But anyways, today we're talking about the best synthesizers of 2024, according to one of the greatest news sites to have ever been produced for synthesizers and music, Music Radar. So let's head on over and check it out. Now, they did this up kind of cool. They got the best synthesizers right here. Let's show their little logo. Well, bam, Music Radar. All right, so best synthesizers, top keyboards, modules, and semi-modular synthesizers. They had some interesting picks in here. They went through best analog, best digital, best hybrid, best mono synth, and best poly synth. Best wavetable synth as well. And they had a few more options in there. But we're just going to scan through it real quick to get our Monday morning going, get us all hyped up, give us a little bit of gas as usual, and then I'll tell you the picks if I disagreed or not. So let's go down through the list here. Let's jump over to our big screen. Well, bam. All right, so first up, let's go to best analog. Music Radar picked the Oberheim. I don't know anymore. Moog. I don't know, man. The British boys are saying Moog. I'm saying Moog too. It's Moog. We're going Moog or Moog. But anyways, the Oberheim, I'm forgetting now. The Oberheim OBX8, 61 key, 8 voices of polyphony, no sequencer, no effects, obviously MIDI in and out stereo, all the thing. It's got the 3 classics built into it. Let's do a quick little scan here. 3 classic synths in one, loads of programming options. Very flexible, more flexible than the original OB, expensive. You know, that's what it is. That's not my pick. My pick is not this synthesizer. This is way too expensive to be the best analog. My pick for the best analog is right here, the Arturia 6-voice polyphonic morphing analog synthesizer. And listen, in the Noir edition for $26.99, I don't think you can go wrong for that. The OBX8 is too expensive. It's got no sequencer. Look at this thing. It's got the matrix. It's got tons of functionality. It's loaded with effects. I don't think there's a better, and plus the modulation ability in this thing's out of this world. I don't think you can get a better bang for your buck if you want a pure analog synthesizer until Arturia releases their new 12 voice. So that's what we got. You got the Samurai picking the Arturia Polybrew. You let me know down in the comments. Like, subscribe, all that jazz. All right, so let's go back over. Next up on the list, they picked the best digital synthesizer. The ASM Hydra Synth. Now, this is something that I actually agree with. So we're in agreement here. The only thing I would say is it's not the regular Hydra Synth, the Hydra Synth Deluxe, the 16 voice. This is an 8 voice, but let's just say the 16 is the pick. They're picking the 8. 49 keys, 9 pre-effects delay. It's full of effects. The sound is amazing. It's all digital, but guess what? You can make this sound exactly like the OBX8. If you want to take a little bit of time or go buy someone's preset pack, you can get this thing sounding exactly like the OBX8. In my opinion, this is the best synthesizer for your money, period, right now. You can't beat this thing. All right, so this is what we got. What are they saying? The reasons to buy it, excellent build. Yeah, it's built like a tank. I got it right here. I wish I could show you. I got it right here. Excellent build quality, full of effects. Insane modulation capability. It's just out of this world. It's a Chinese synthesizer. Man, I'm telling you right now, I think it's the best synthesizer in the last probably 3 years, my opinion. All right, so that's the Hydra Synth. So we agree on that one. Best digital synthesizer of 2024, easy. All right, next up, best hybrid, the Arturia Mini Freak. I'm also in agreement on this one. I just picked up, Conley Arturia sent me a Mini Freak, and I've been playing around with it. I made a few videos, go check them out. This thing here has blown my mind. For $600 on sale, you get it for just over $5. Sometimes you pick it up for $4.99. You cannot beat the Arturia Mini Freak right now. It's got 22 digital oscillators. It's got an analog filter. It's full of effects. It's got an absolute out of this world sequencer. It's got an excellent interface, and it's got I would venture to say the best live performing modulation capability of these little strip bars. Anyways, I'm not going to get into details, but let me tell you something right now. As far as hybrids go, you can't beat this thing. You can't beat the price. You can't beat the sound. It blows everything away right now. And especially if you're a beginner, you got to pick this thing up. You got to pick the Mini Freak up if you're a beginner, man. If you're an expert, you got to pick the Mini Freak up. All right, so let's check out what they got. Hybrid, 6 voices. It got 12 voices in paraphonic mode. If you don't know what paraphonic is, you're probably on the wrong video. 37 slim keys, but don't worry about that. 3 digital FX slots, 10 effects to choose from, bounce, blah, blah, blah. Reasons to buy, multitude of excellent digital synthesis, digital effects, can be used as a processor. You can put your other synthesizers into it. It lacks depth. It don't lack no depth. Music Radar, this don't lack no depth at all. This got more depth than the Mariana Trench, baby. This don't lack no depth. You've lost your mind. All right, so we agree on that one. So let's go over. Next up on the list, Music Radar's pick, best mono synth of 2024, the Moog Grandmother. You've got to be kidding me. This is not the best mono synth, although it's a great synthesizer, don't get me wrong. I love it. I like the Dark Edition much better than that one. 2 VCOs, 2 VCF, 24 dB low pass, 6 dB high pass, VCA envelope, only got one LFO, spring reverb. Apparently this sounds fat. A lot of people like this one better than Matriarch. You can pick this up for $1,000. Under 1,000 used, you can almost get it for 700. Let's see what they like about it. Also, don't forget it's semi-modular with the patch bay. I'm going to tell you what my pick is in a minute. I think this blows this out of the water. 32-note keyboard, flexible patching. Anyway, you get the idea. So let's go over to my pick for the best mono synth of 2024 is right here. If you haven't heard anything about this one yet, you have been sleeping in a cave. The Pittsburgh Modular Tiger keyboard semi-modular analog synthesizer. This thing, go check out Starsky Carr's video on this. He just did 2 awesome videos on this. This is also semi-modular, but the cool thing is you see that little part on the side there? You can actually put modules in there, okay? You can put Euro rack modules in there and expand this thing to your heart's content. I think right now for the money, $12.99. If you're thinking about getting a Moog Grandmother and thinking about getting a mono synth, if you want a mono synth, and not a huge one, right now, Pittsburgh Modular Tiger keyboard is the best thing out there right now. It's got the fattest sound, and so much love and creativity went into this thing. They got an absolute epic company. They do a lot of modular stuff, but pick this up. Go watch some videos on it. That's the Samurai's pick for the best modular synth, or best mono synth. Let's head back over to Music Radar. They blew it on the mono synth. Best Poly. All right, the best Poly, the Sequential Prophet 5. Just the fact that they got this on the list in 2024 shows that this thing has withstood the test of time. People love the Prophets. They love the Prophet sound. Me, for one, I think if you're going to get a Dave Smith, a sequential synthesizer, you're going to got to get the Rev 2. Why wouldn't you go for the Rev 2? The Rev 2, to me, is the best sequential synthesizer right now. So this got 61 notes, 2 CEM 3340 VCOs per voice, switchable low pass filter. What's the pros? All the features of the original plus filter options, amazing sounds, easy modulation, poly mods, expensive compared to blah, blah, blah. All right, so if you're in the market for a poly synth, you can pick up this here. My pick for the best poly of 2024, a lot of people are gonna hate on me for this, but the Behringer UBXA 16 voice, not a 5 voice, for $11.99. The only problem is, hot new, oh, you can add it to cart. Not in stock, but that's what's happening right now. $11.99, 16 voice, bitimbral, polyphonic analog, 32 oscillators, 2 LFOs, multi-modes, envelopes, it's got arpeggiators, preset slots. I mean, this thing's got it all. It looks good. It's true to the original. Now, maybe I should have done this for the analog, but I still think the Polybrute beats all these hands down by far. But as far as 2024, the best poly synth right now is the UBXA for price, sound. The only problem is I heard build quality is a little bit shady, but no big deal. All right, let's head back over. Next up on the list, best wavetable. Now I agree with this one, the Korg WaveState Mark II. If you haven't had the chance to play with one of these yet, get to a music store, get somewhere. This thing, actually blows your mind. You can hold one key down and a whole entire song plays. It's a live performer's dream, a programmer's nightmare, but definitely easier than the original. But this here, absolutely insane. 96 voices, the amount of the sounds you can get coming out of this thing, the movement, it's just, I'll have to do a video on it soon because I got one right here. I got the Mark 1, but 96 voices, 37 keys, 1990s wave synthesis fueled the dance electronic music. The Mark II version seizes and updated 64 voices to 96. So this is the best thing going right now. I agree with them. It's pretty cheap. You can pick it up for, I think it was $800. They got a module out now, even better. And they got the full size SE, which is the 61 note keyboard. So that is awesome. Now my honorable mention that wasn't on here, which I kind of think competes with the Tiger and the Grandmother. This here is in the running for me right now for the best synthesizer of 2024. The PWM, Chris Huggett's last synthesizer. If you don't know who he is, go look him up. The Mantis Hybrid Analog Duophonic synthesizer. The last one before this, blessed man died, passed away. Look at how beautiful this thing is. It's got Chris Huggett's signature down in the bottom corner here. I'm in the way, but there it is right there, signed and delivered. Awesome name. It's got a little mantis up here in the corner. This thing is just beautiful. A lot of people don't like the green, but they also said they're giving out the specs where you can 3D print your own side cheeks. So that's amazing. So this is almost it. Now let's check out what the honorable mentions were for Music Radar. Korg Volca FM2. Awesome little synthesizer for a beginner. 6 voices, digital, DX7 style synthesizer. They got probably one of the greatest synthesizers released in the last 5 years when it comes to price, sound, and fun. You got the Arturia Micro Freak. Now, if you like the Micro Freak, go pick up the Mini Freak. It blows the Micro Freak away, but people love this thing, man. Then we go down, we got old school Behringer Neutron, still one of the greatest. $250, $300, you get this semi-modular sound designer's dream. This thing here is one of Behringer's only originals, this and the Deep Mind. So these are the 2 Behringer originals. I think this is the best synth Behringer's put out, in my opinion. And I got it up here. I'll show you some other time. What else they got down here? IK Uno Synth Pro. I'm not a huge fan of that, but some people like it. And then we got the Arturia Mini Brute 2, a classic. Korg Mini Log XD, another classic, especially if you're a beginner. 4 voice. Full of effects. If you're a beginner, this might be one of the best synthesizers to start. Actually, I'm going to say, it's the synthesizer I started with, actually. I got it right down here. This here is definitely probably your best bang for your buck for your beginner. Super easy to use, super clean interface, full of effects. Electron Digitones, another one they got, number 13. How many more they got in this beauty? They got the Novation Peak. Must have one more. And the Juno X. All right, 15. We're going to stop it right there for today. That's the top synthesizers of 2024. You heard my picks. My pick are the Poly Brute for the analog, the Hydra Synth Deluxe for the digital, the Mini Freak for the hybrid, the Pittsburgh Modular Tiger for the mono, and then the wavetable is obviously the Korg Wave State. Thank you for joining me, baby. That's that Synth Show. Start your Monday morning with a bang and a coffee. Let's go. Sloop, sloop.